How can I let go of my need to settle and come out of the comfort zone? Okay, first of all, we do have some people in our society that are slightly autistic. These people have a need for stability. They are simply not well, both mentally and physically, if they do not have this stability. We are not talking about these people. We are going to talk about the rest. A lot of us do have a light form of autism and we don't really know it. But I have noticed that these people have a very difficult time if they do not have stability. So we're not talking about these people, we are going to talk about the rest. How can I let go of my need to settle and come out of the comfort zone? First of all, let's explain a little bit of what the comfort zone is. The comfort zone is simply repetition. Simply knowing that what you're going to do tomorrow is the same thing you did today. And you see, there is a certain feeling of safety in repetition. We need to know, we have a need to know about tomorrow because this knowing guarantees our survival. So see your comfort zone like this. Comfort zone has very little to do with creature comforts, meaning a nice sofa, a nice shower, a nice bed. You can find that outside the comfort zone as well. It's just that it might be a different bed every week or every month or even every day, and a different shower. So don't confuse the comfort zone with comforts. You can get comforts outside the comfort zone as well. The comfort zone is all about knowing what's going to happen tomorrow. One way I let go of this need for my comfort zone many years ago, was by convincing myself that this is only one lifetime of many. That this is not my only life. And that way, I did feel like I wanted to experience more, and I did not want to repeat lives. And that made it a little easier for me to let go or to come out of the comfort zone. Another is, I convinced myself, my body, when it was missing the comfort zone, that adventure gives us more experience and more growth than what the comfort zone does. And again, this made it a little easier for me to come out and to stay out of the comfort zone. Because it is easy for us to let the comfort zone pull us back in. Many times when I'm traveling to do seminars, the organizers usually give me an apartment. And many times it's really nice, very comfortable, nice views, or in a very nice area. And they usually say, stay as long as you like. And I do get this urge to fall back into the comfort zone. And then I have to remind myself that adventure will give me more experiences and will help me grow much faster, both as a soul and as an earth personality. So say little things like that to yourself, and then it will be easier. Because there are millions and millions, if not billions of people that do want to leave their jobs. But they say, I'm going to miss the regular paycheck. I would say to that, don't buy a house, don't buy a car, don't buy things that require you to have a regular paycheck. And then you can come out of the comfort zone much easier. Because you see, if you do buy all these things, then you have no choice. You have to go to work. Now, another benefit of coming out of the comfort zone is, in the long run, after a while, you tend to become much smarter. You become wittier. Because you come out of the repetition, life throws a lot of things at you, and you learn to deal with them quickly. This makes you much faster and much more marketable in the job industry. So whenever you do want to settle or even do freelance jobs, when you talk to your potential clients, they can see that you know things. They can see that you have experience. So even if you come out of the comfort zone for 10, 20 years, after that, when you're in your 40s, you will be so much more marketable than someone who stayed in one job for the past 20 years. It also makes you a lot more attractive to others. Not just sexually attractive, attractive to be around. Others would want to be around you because you have become much wiser. You don't just shout and be fanatic about things, because you know, you have learned from life experience that there is always more than one way. And two opposing views can both be right. You have learned this, and this makes you pleasant to be around. It makes you attractive. If you're a straight man, it makes you very attractive to women, because women are not like men. They are not visual creatures. They don't like men just for the way they look, as for men want women for the way they look. Women also look for brains or experience. So yes, if you're a straight man, come out of the comfort zone for a few years, and then all the women will be after you. I'm going to mention a little story I learned from a client that literally changed my life. She was asking her higher self, she says, I do this. Is this good for me? And her higher self says, do whatever you like. A few minutes later, she asks, I do that. Is that good for me? And again the higher self replies, do whatever you like. And she gets a little upset and she asks, I want to know what's good for me. And the higher self replies, look, when we leave this life, we will only regret the things we have not done. We will never regret the things we have done. That one phrase changed my life. From then on, I always started asking myself, what else would you like to do? I remember, I might have mentioned this in another video. I remember I was in Austria. It was a beautiful sunny day. I was having coffee. looking at the green and the mountains and everything. And I'm having a conversation with my soul, and I ask my soul, if we died from this body, if we left this body the day after tomorrow, what would you like to do tomorrow? And I heard in my mind, Beirut. I had never really thought of Beirut before. I finished my coffee, I went home, and I bought a ticket for Beirut. So ask yourself things like this. If I died tomorrow, what would I like to experience today? And then go and experience this. Go and do this. This is one way you can slowly come out of the comfort zone. Another thing I say to myself every time I have an urge to be pulled back into the comfort zone is I remind myself that I am here for my soul's resume. By me being here on earth, my soul enriches its resume, its CV, because I don't know where my soul would like to go after this. And it needs a richer resume. So it came to earth. And after I remind myself what I'm really here for, it's easier for me to not fall back into the comfort zone. Because it is quite natural to want to fall into the comfort zone or fall back into it after you have come out. It's simply a matter of survival. When we know what's going to happen tomorrow, we feel safer because we know we will survive. And this is why it helps to keep reminding yourself of little things. And this one helps me a lot, knowing that I'm here for my soul. Let's see, what else is there? As the statement says, the comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. And the reason nothing ever grows is because the comfort zone is stagnant. Nothing moves. And growth does need movement. It needs constant movement and constant change. So don't feel bad if you have chosen the comfort zone. However, you cannot complain. I have absolutely no regrets since I have come out of the comfort zone. It's not that I don't miss it. There are many days in the year that I do miss it. And a couple of times I actually rented an apartment long term and got back into it again. And I remember in one case, after just 2 months, I started feeling bored. Not that I have not lived in one place for longer than 2 months, but in that particular place, I had rented it for 7 months, and I knew where I was going to be for the next 7 months. And this is what made me bored, knowing where I will be for the next few months. As for when you are out of the comfort zone, you simply don't know what tomorrow will bring, and this keeps you on your toes. And it does keep you sharp. Don't think that, oh, I'm over 40 now, I'm too young, I need stability. You know what? When you're over 40, You need to get out of stability so your mind can stay sharp well into your 50s and 60s and 70s. So I would totally recommend coming out of the comfort zone, but I also understand if you're scared. To be honest, there is nothing to be afraid of. I'll say a little story. It's Native American, but from the Canadian side. Somehow this man was on a piece of ice, and that piece of ice got cut off and started floating out. They couldn't really bring him back. I guess they didn't have boats with them, or I don't know. So he floated out to sea. And they thought, okay, they've lost him. About 40 days later, the same piece of ice comes back to, I guess, close to their village. He steps off. Everybody was looking at him in amazement, how he survived for 40 days. He steps off the piece of ice. He looks at them and he says, "There is absolutely nothing to fear." And he collapses. And then he slept for I don't know how many days. There really is absolutely nothing to fear. The universe will take care of you. If you just let it. The problem is we don't let it take care of us. We don't trust it. I'm going to leave it at this.